What if there was a game where you play God, competing against others to ultimately decide the fate of an entire microcosm? My name is Lily, I'm an artist, and today I wanted to create a cosmic game played by strange entities, where they are in charge of a self-aware world with very real consequences for the inhabitants. This game is played by the immortal beings called the Faceless, who reside in the Void. It is a boring place with complete nothingness. The purpose of the Faceless was to create universes within small chambers and then leave them to evolve in its own space. But where's the fun in that? Eternity is going to last forever if they don't have anything fun to do. The Faceless want entertainment. And what better entertainment than to use sentient mortals to play games with? One game which has become a major favourite amongst the Faceless is Last God. The goal of the game is to take over everything and be the last god standing. So how does this game work? The Game Master, who acts as the impartial judge, will rapidly evolve a world within a small microcosm chamber. Gathered around the spherical chamber is the wider board, which holds items like chance cards, character sheets, and a map of the world. The Game Masters are round artifacts, a bit like Magic 8 Balls, who the Faceless use to keep the game unpredictable, full of chance, and therefore more interesting. The players will take their places around this chamber and begin the match, which can last a while. The previous game of Last God went on for a few thousand years. But first, there's some initial setup. The most important part is character selection. One of the most loved parts about playing Last God is the creation of personas, what godly role the Faceless will take on in this world. Each player will be given a random ability, and they can choose to create a fun character for themselves themed around this ability. For example, Lord of Death. This is a persona crafted by a Faceless who was given dominion over the afterlife in a Last God game. This is one of the most popular abilities as it means you get certain powers like resurrecting mortals and controlling armies of the undead. Most players end up having their own favourite mortals, either for their personality or skills, so the ability to keep them alive for the duration of the game is highly sought after. Other such personas include Princess of Demise, a player who has higher chances of enacting a curse to plague a whole kingdom, a very handy ability to cripple your opponents who attempt to gain more power and land within the world. There's also Bloodhound. This persona has the ability to seek out mysteries within the map, with the chance to uncover game-winning secrets hidden in lands. Then there's Happy Man. This persona has huge charisma and social abilities, with a high persuasion success rate. This is a very important skill, as one of the main features of this game is to utilise the mortals who live in this world to do your bidding. But they can't simply be mind controlled. The player must request what they want the people to do, normally through a selected mortal. Most of the time, the players will be outside the microcosm, watching from their comfy seats. But they have the opportunity to venture within this world, manifesting as their personas when communicating with the mortals. It's recommended not to do this as often, as personally visiting these worlds could cause a Faceless to start forming emotional attachments to the mortals they interact with. And due to the nature of the game, emotional attachment could result in distress and grief. But this is something the Faceless always look forward to, as they can really immerse themselves within the roles they've created. Now that we've established that, let's talk about the actual game itself. It functions similarly to D&D in a way, with its role-playing elements. Each player will be given a turn. In this turn, they can decide on an action, anything they want. Most players use this time to start building up their personas, gaining mortal followers who worship them, and start building kingdoms for them. It can be a very slow process at first. All actions are chance-based, and ones which don't involve the decision of a mortal require the use of the Game Master. Low-level actions like chop down a tree have an almost 100% success rate due to the simplicity and low stakes of the action. High-stake actions like cursing an opponent's kingdom have a lower chance of success unless you have a selected ability like Princess of Demise, which increases the chance of this. The Game Master works similar to a Magic 8 Ball. The outcome won't simply be a win or lose, sometimes it can have additional events that occur with each outcome, so it makes the game more interesting. A lot of the players pick designated mortals to send requests to as their action. Mortals think for themselves, so this aspect is already chance-based. If a player wants a mortal to do something, they don't need the Game Master. They can request this action to them, and the mortal will decide if they do this action or not. A game of Last God has been won before through a player persuading a mortal to start a rebellion within an opponent's kingdom during the late game, leading to the downfall of their entire empire. As the game progresses, during random intervals, the Game Master will select from a pile of chance cards. These have the chance to cause a giant event within the world which can have a huge effect on the player's own game. Some past examples include triggering an earthquake which swallowed up half the world, starting a peace event which meant players couldn't directly hurt each other's assets, and global warming which meant no one had to put their heating on. The overall goal of the game is to be the last god standing. A player must gain influence over the entirety of the world and have sole ownership in order to win the game. Once a player is crowned the winner, the microcosm will be suspended in time by the Game Master, serving as a trophy to the winner. The ruling champion will also be granted an advantage in the next game of Last God. Let's go over a few game rules for Last God. Number 1, each player takes it in turn to perform an action. Number 2, the complexity of the action alters the success rate. Number 3, players can work as an alliance if they so wish to, but they'll have to share the trophy if they both win. And number 4, the players can choose to set goals for what they unanimously agree would count as an overall win. This cannot be changed mid-game unless unanimously agreed on again. And one of the most important rules, do not get emotionally attached to the mortals. The Game Master will intervene if they think the player is getting too emotionally close to a mortal, unless it's for the strict purpose of persuasion for the overall game. This rule has been strictly adhered to since a fateful past game of Last God. During this game, a faceless player attacked another player in the void after they condemned a particular mortal to a terrible fate. This is only a game, so player-on-player fighting is strictly prohibited. The perpetrator was sent to the timeout zone. It's important to have fun with personas and scenarios, but not to the point where the players become antagonistic with each other. That's just not ethical. The Faceless have been playing this game since the beginning of time and will probably continue for as long as they exist. They are even trialling out a Chaos mode, which gets rid of turn-based systems and allows the players to freely enact actions within the world whenever they want. This version has been rising in popularity amongst groups of players. The changing worlds and opportunities for new personas make this an eternally exciting game, and it is the dream of many Faceless to have as many trophies as possible.